Hello everyone and welcome to a video that may be a bit different for some of you guys. I'm going to be creating my own DCEU, and if you don't know what that means, is I'm basically going to just be telling you the movies, telling you some movies and how I would have made the DCEU if I were to make it, and that's just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tell you the movies and what's going to happen in them and stuff like that, and what comics they're based off and all that. So I'm going to, in this episode, be doing Phase 1 and Phase 2. And I know the phases is kind of like Marvel's thing, but whatever, I'm using it in this episode. So for Phase 1, the first movie of Phase 1 is going to be Man of Steel. Superman Man of Steel, I'm going to call it. So this movie is going to be a Superman origin story. It's going to borrow some elements from Superman the movie. It's going to borrow some elements from Man of Steel. It is Zod. It's going to be kind of like Man of Steel. Zod is going to be the main villain. Lois Lane will be in it, but it's also it's also got some elements from Superman Last Son of Krypton. If you hadn't read that comic, it is an amazing comic. So in this story, Superman finds another boy who is also from Krypton and has survived. Now he's going to adopt the kid and name him Christopher Kent and stuff like that, but then he finds out that he is actually the son of General Zod. And then there could be some things between Zod and Superman and some interesting stuff there. And that could just be a really, really interesting movie to see for the first movie. And we get to know Superman in this movie too. So the next movie up is number 2 is Batman Under the Red Hood. Now in this movie, Jason Todd is Robin, and Batman and Jason, they have chemistry through all of the movie. They're fighting a few villains. The villains in this are the Joker and the Penguin. And Catwoman is going to be in it too. Batman and Catwoman kind of have a thing. And we're going to get some flashbacks from how Jason became Robin and how Batman became Batman through the movies. Of course, we get the Batman flashbacks first, and then we get Jason's flashbacks that show us Jason. And this is going to kind of be based off Under the Red Hood and Death in the Family, kind of that type of movie. And he's going to get killed, Jason, and we kind of get some Under the Red Hood. We get Nightwing, we get Catwoman, we get the Joker, we get the Penguin, we get the Red Hood, we get all that. And all of these, and Catwoman is not going to get that much screen time. She's basically just there to be a love interest for Bruce because she is the most favorited love interest of Bruce, and yeah, that's mostly why she's there. We can't have that many villains in the movie. But the next movie up is Batman v Superman. Now we've gotten to know Batman and Superman. Now they face off. This is going to be based off Batman, Superman, World's Finest, and also Mad Love. So we get Joker and Harley Mad Love. We get in the last movie, in the Superman Man of Steel movie, we get to see Lex Luthor. I mean, he's not a villain in the movie. He's basically just seeing Superman, and he's like, we get in the last scene, he's like, Superman needs to stop. And then in this movie, he can recruit the Joker and Harley, who've just escaped Arkham. And together, they can create Bizarro, basically, and make Bizarro fight Superman and make Batman and Superman fight. Just stuff like that. I think that would be an amazing movie. And at the end, Wonder Woman comes to help. Which sets up her solo movie. Stuff like that is going to be awesome. Now, as I said with World's Finest, Wonder Woman is going to be set up having her own solo movie, and there's not really going to be anything just really interesting about this. Ares will be the villain. It's going to be a Wonder Woman origin story. Steve Trevor will die in the end. Just the usual Wonder Woman origin stuff. Not really anything special. No Cheetah. We will save Cheetah for the sequel. The next one is Justice League live action. The main team will be Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, and Green Lantern. Cyborg and Martian Manhunter, will be in the sequel. So this is based off Justice League War, kind of. Darkseid, Steppenwolf are going to be in it. Darkseid is, of course, the main villain. It's basically just based off of Justice League War with these members. There's going to be some love with Batman and Wonder Woman, because I know a lot of people like that shipping, but a lot of people also like Superman and Wonder Woman. So we'll have Batman and Wonder Woman in this movie and maybe the next, and then we'll have Superman and Wonder Woman later on the road. So yeah, that's basically this. In the end, they will move into Batman will like create the watchtower and stuff like that, and that's how the movie will end. So that was phase 1, and here we move on to phase 2. Now, Justice League, of course, introduces us to the Flash, and that sets up for his solo movie, which is here, which comes in here. And it's going to be titled Flash the Scarlet Speedster, and the main villains are going to be Captain Cold and Reverse Flash, and we're going to have Iris West. We're going to get introduced to Wally West, but like there's a post-credit scene where there's this final battle between Reverse Flash, which is Eobard Thawne, and Barry Allen. And basically, Wally gets hurt and he's losing blood, and Barry needs to give Wally his blood. So he gives Wally his blood, and he, of course, has the Speed Force in his blood, and Wally gets speedster powers, which is how Wally West gets his powers. And yeah, Eobard Thawne is going to be the Reverse Flash. We're going to get his origin story, stuff like that. That's just going to be this movie. So the next one is a sequel to Man of Steel, and I guess you can see on the screen what it's based on. Lex Luthor creates a monster in Doomsday, and we basically, up to that, we basically see he's also working on Brainiac. We see he's working on Brainiac, but Brainiac does not actually come to life in this movie. It just sets up Justice League 2, and I know there's a lot of setup in this universe, but it sets up Justice League 2, where Brainiac will be the main villain, but he also creates Doomsday, and up to that, the villain will kind of be, it's just Lex Luthor, and we'll not get too much Superman up till Doomsday comes. We'll just get Clark Kent, his casual life, stuff like that. But yeah, Doomsday kills Superman, and of course he gets resurrected in the next Justice League movie, and he will be evil there. Green Lantern Corps comes next, and I want this to kind of focus on Kyle Rayner. He's my favorite Green Lantern, because we've already got Hal Jordan, and then we want to get introduced to someone new. Hal Jordan will, of course, be in this movie, but he'll kind of be like a side character. We get to know Kyle Rayner in this, and it's just, we basically get Hal Jordan, so there's someone familiar in this movie, and it's not just an all-new cast. We don't know anyone. Yeah. And this movie, of course, will, in the beginning, have Sinestro break Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern are begin knowing of some new threats, which are the Red Lanterns. They will fight the Red Lanterns up until the ending, where Sinestro, of course, turns evil, and we're going to have an emotional fight with Hal Jordan and Sinestro, and we're going to, meanwhile, have Kyle Rayner stopping the Red Lanterns, and then when he stopped them, he'll come to help, and they two together will stop Sinestro. But there will also be Jon Stewart. Now, this next movie here will have Bane and Two-Face as the villains, and it's going to be interesting because this will be based on Knightfall. Kind of in the beginning, we get Bane's origin story, we get Two-Face's origin story, Nightwing is there, he's helping. Bane breaks Batman's back, and Nightwing has to become Batman. It's really interesting. And in the end fight, he basically has to fight Bane, and he stops Bane, the Nightwing. Nightwing, of course, the Nightwing Batman. And Batman comes up and he says he's ready to fight, and he can do it again. And he goes and takes on Two-Face, which of course is emotional because Two-Face was in the other Batman movie, and they set up their friendship there, so it will be emotional in this one. You see what I'm doing here? I think you are. I think you are seeing what I'm doing. Batgirl will be in this too. Alfred will I'm sorry, but Alfred dies in the end. He has been in Justice League, Batman v Superman, and Batman, and this movie until now. And he's a bit old, so he has to go. The next on my list for Phase 2 movies is Wonder Woman 2, where finally we will have Cheetah. And Cheetah will she'll start off as Barbara Ann Minerva, which is Wonder Woman's best friend. They work at the museum together, and we will also get her introduced. We also got her introduced in the Justice League, setting up their friendship, so this can be emotional when she turns into Cheetah in the end and they have to fight. And up till then, I think Theora will be the villain, because Bandit Incorporated made a video of Wonder Woman 2, shout out to him, and after that video, I kind of realized that Wonder Woman and Cheetah are meant to be enemies. I mean, Bandit was right. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. That video was amazing, but he was right. They're perfect to fight each other. And she will stop. We'll kind of get cut from her fight with Theora to Cheetah, or Barbara Ann Minerva, cleaning the museum, and she will get cut on the sword and with the cheetah venom and stuff like that. And then when Theora either dies or gets sent to the Phantom Zone, Cheetah escapes the museum, and Wonder Woman will have to fight Cheetah in the end. So we have the Aquaman movie here next on the list, and I put it here because I want an Aquaman movie before Justice League 2, and that's what we're getting. So the Aquaman movie is basically, it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be mostly set, 80% of the movie is going to be set underwater, because if you have a character that can be underwater, don't have him be on land all that. I mean, there can be some times on land where they're on land, they're like visiting his father, Aquaman's father or something. We can get some flashbacks with his origin story. Cool stuff like that. Really cool stuff. But have it mostly be set in the water, and have Ocean Master and Aquaman, not Aquaman, what am I talking about? Black Manta be the villains. And have Black Manta wear his mask a lot, because his mask looks freaking awesome. My 12th movie is Gotham City Sirens, and I want this to be in the vision of Catwoman, because she was in the first Batman movie, and we haven't really seen her since. She helped Batman in the final fight, and she's like, okay, now that I helped you, I can go back to being a criminal, and you won't stop me or anything, because I helped you take down the villains, and they kind of have a thing, Batman and Catwoman, so she's still on the run. Poison Ivy is relatively new. We haven't seen her before. She will just be introduced in this movie. She will get a lot of screen time too. And at the end of the last time we saw the Joker was at the end of Batman Superman World's Finest. And at the end, Batman and Superman defeated Bizarro and Lex, but Joker and Harley got away. And in Gotham City Sirens, Joker gets tired of Harley and sends Harley off in a rocket, and she crashes in the Botanic Garden where Poison Ivy is. So that's how they meet each other, and we can get them to meet Catwoman later. But Justice League 2, this is going to be the highlight of the DCEU up to now. We're going to have Brainiac, we're going to have Cyborg, we're going to have Martian Manhunter, we're going to have Superman returning, and he's going to wear the black suit in this. He's like, he didn't wear it in Justice League, which was really bad, but he's gonna wear his black suit in this, and he will turn good. They'll defeat Brainiac. There will be some good character moments. Bruce and Diana still are kind of together, and they're arguing a bit, setting up Wonder Woman 3, which I'll come back to later, Wonder Woman 3. They're kind of arguing a bit. There's some stuff there. Aquaman, and this is just all in all going to be an interesting movie. And yeah, that's, I think, all I have to say for this. Lex Luthor gets defeated once again after he creates Brainiac. This is stupid. Yeah, he escapes prison. He creates Brainiac. Brainiac gets defeated. Lex Luthor gets defeated. That's my phase 1 and 2 of my DCEU. I hope you like this video, and if you want me to do a part 2 with phase 3 and 4, where we are going to send some characters down to hell, or maybe up to heaven, like this video and type it in the comments and I will do it, definitely.